Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien on the morning of Thursday, September 7th, 2023. Stand by for a special commentary. Well, today's commentary is on you Americans, especially those hardcore, extreme rightist Republicans. And today's commentary is on Donald J. Trump and Julius Caesar, and what they had in common. What they had in common was they both had a big ego. I mean, if you look at Julius Caesar, his ego just kept on getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's the same with Donald J. Trump. Julius Caesar couldn't stand the word losing. Neither does Donald J. Trump, evident by January 6th. Okay? And if you look at Julius Caesar's time, he wanted to be it. It wasn't the Roman Republic. It wasn't the Senate. It wasn't the Roman citizens. It was him. Same with Donald J. Trump. He is him. It's not MAGA. It's not to make America great again. It's not the Republican Party. And it's not his children. He could dump them off in a hurry and he wouldn't lose a thing. Same with Caesar. Yeah, Caesar could dump anybody off. Well, anyway, and he had supposedly allies, Caesar did. Mark Antony was one of them. Same with Donald J. Trump. He's got allies. He had Steve Bannon. Well, he got put in jail and, not by much, but hey, Steve Bannon is still in his corner. He didn't learn his lesson. Mark Meadows, he's about to learn his lesson. And a lot of Julius Caesar's guys learned their lesson, especially Antonius Angelus, who was a right-hand man before Mark Antony. But he was also a Pompey guy. And when the Senate told Pompey to go get Caesar, now mind you, Pompey was getting up in age at the time, and he, had to raise an army. So they did, and he went over there, but his army wasn't as seasoned as Caesar's. That means it didn't have Caesar salad. Caesar just manhandled his army and went right through Rome, and Pompey decided, I'm hightailing it out of here, yeah. Unfortunately, he went to one of the places he shouldn't have gone. Egypt. And, you know what happened. When Caesar got there a few days later, the king of Egypt, Ptolemy the 13th, Cleopatra's brother, by the way, handed Caesar Pompey's head. Ooh, wrong thing to do. Caesar didn't like that. He didn't like Pompey, but he didn't want him to suffer that kind of fate. He was better than that, he said. So, well, Trump doesn't have that kind of thinking. But Caesar kept on and kept on, and he was, how would you call it, a gambler, and gambled and won, gambled and won. You can have a long winning streak, but sooner or later that winning streak comes to an end, and that's what Caesar didn't understand. That's what Donald J. Trump doesn't understand. He's gambled his way up to the presidency. Now he's gambling his way that if he wins the presidency again, he doesn't have to, he can pardon himself. That's his gamble. Now remember, in Caesar's case, if you gamble a lot, you're going to create friends that become, oh boy, we don't need this because he's throwing us left and right. I mean, he had friends that are gone the other way. Christie, he's now on the other side. Bart, he's now on the other side. You notice that his kids don't come to his defense that much anymore. Why? Because they know that they'll be eventually in file 13. Well, that's what Caesar used to do to a lot of people too. Except that he came and they decided they had enough of him. Just like the extreme Democrats have decided, and the people, the Republican Party hasn't, but the people have decided they've had enough of Trump. And whether he gets convicted or not, that's not the case. But there will be one guy in Trump's case. It's going to be just like the one guy in Caesar's case. And whether he said this or not, and it's still up in the air for conjecture, people, because this was made by William Shakespeare in the 1560s, okay? That's 1,600 and some years after 44 BC, where he says, after he gets the last swipe and he looks up and, et tu, brute? And, a lot of people have taken that to mean a lot of things. You too, Brutus? Not you too, Brutus? Well, et tu, brute. Whether he said that, well, we weren't around in 44 BC, so we don't know. We just take William Shakespeare's poetic license for that. Who's going to be et tu, brute for Donald Trump? Because he's going the same way as Julius Caesar, gambling his way out. That is not the way to go. You notice that all these guys that wanted to be number one and the strong man and the leader just themselves. Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar, Genghis Khan, V.I. Lenin, Joseph Stalin, Adolf Hitler, Nero, Caracalla, and don't forget Constantine too, people, huh? Yeah. William the Conqueror. All of them had issues. And they all ended up the same way because most of them, as in Nero, and especially Caligula before Nero, they were like Julius Caesar and gambled their way. Others were like Alexander the Great. He got an empire so big and he didn't have a structure to handle it, let alone if what happens to him after he's gone, his empire crumbled. That was the case with Adolf Hitler. Sure, you can get all this land and you can subjugate all these people, but what are you going to do to control it. Once you got it, boy, it's a lot different than once you try to get it. Getting it is the big thing. Having it is something else. And that's what Donald J. Trump never understood about the presidency. Getting it? Yeah. Having it? Well, it destroyed him, didn't it? 4 years, and the people had enough. That's what destroyed Julius Caesar. Getting it, he had a lot of people, oh, I'm in your corner, Caesar, yahoo, yahoo. But after 4 years, et tu, brute. So you see, Americans, and especially you extremist Republicans and extremist Democrats, this is what's going to happen to your country, because you're going to be suffering the same way that Alexander the Great's empire did, the Third Reich did, the Roman Empire did, the Ottoman Empire did, the Ming Empire, and of course the Manchu Empire in 1911, and the British Empire. Because at a certain time you cannot control all that territories, and you're going to have to give it up. This is your favorite alien saying, Trump and Julius Caesar both were gamblers. And like the gambler said, gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em. And neither Donald J. Trump nor Julius Caesar knew when to fold 'em. This is your favorite alien. Good day.